Hey everyone! Welcome back to Story Hive. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Let's jump into today's story. My wife was advised to cheat and try a new size. She paid a devastating price for her betrayal. Honey, I inquired, are you asleep? Amy murmured something I couldn't make out. Can I ask you something? How come, after almost 25 years together, you've suddenly gotten better in bed, barely awake? Amy grumbled, I've always done it for you. I observed Amy. She seemed relaxed, curled up in a fetal position, hugging her extra pillow with her back facing me. Yeah, you have, but you never seem to enjoy it. What's with the sudden change? Amy turned over, still clutching the pillow tightly. She flashed me a smile with her beautiful blue eyes and said playfully, Well, I didn't hear any complaints from you. I smiled back at Amy, my closest friend and the woman I've admired since we met at a backyard party over 20 years ago. I'm not complaining now, I'm just curious why, after letting me do it in your mouth twice before we got married and then never allowing it again, you've let it happen twice more in 1 week after 25 years. Amy was fully awake now and asked, What's bothering you, Chris? I'm just asking a simple question, Amy. For 25 years you've done this without much enthusiasm. It's always felt like a chore. Amy sat up in bed as I continued, and tonight you did something completely different. I'm just wondering where this sudden enthusiasm is coming from. Amy got out of bed and stood with her hands on her hips, glaring at me. If you prefer, we can go back to the old way. Amy was angry, and I sensed she was about to get even angrier. No, I'm really enjoying your improved skills, I said. Then I wanted to get a dig in, so I added, You're almost as good as some of my old college girlfriends. Amy's face turned red with anger, but before she could respond, I continued, But you still haven't explained why your skills have gotten better. Did you read something, talk to your friends, or maybe you've had some practice? What are you accusing me of? Amy was furious. I stayed calm and explained, I'm not accusing you of anything. I just want to understand. You've disliked giving me oral throughout our relationship. Amy grabbed her pillow and headed for the door. As she left the bedroom, she yelled angrily, You don't need to think about it anymore because I won't do it again. Amy was halfway down the hall heading to our guest room when I called out from the bedroom, I guess I'll find out the truth tomorrow. What do you mean by that? She shot back. I said slowly, the private investigator I hired almost 6 weeks ago has finished his report. I'm meeting him in the morning. I have a feeling that your newfound skills will be a big part of that report. As I closed and locked the bedroom door, I saw Amy's jaw drop. Her knocking, crying, and pleading continued for over an hour while I lay in our king-size bed, crying into my pillow. Amy and I usually wake up early, so I set my alarm for 3:00 in the morning. I quickly got dressed in gym clothes and left the house. Within 5 minutes, my workout that morning lasted 2 hours and left me feeling exhausted. After showering, I changed into clothes that I had packed in my car the day before. I arrived at my favorite breakfast diner just before 6. It was only 2 blocks from my office. After ordering coffee, I turned on my phone and was immediately bombarded with texts and voicemails from my cheating wife. I ignored them and sent a text to my boss asking if we could meet at Lucy's before work. About 30 minutes later, I received a response from Stacy saying, See you at 7:30. Stacy walked into Lucy's, glanced around, and then sat down on the bench across from me. When she spotted me, she ordered a coffee and a bagel to go before turning her attention to me. After taking a quick look at me, Stacy exclaimed, You look terrible. Yeah, I feel even worse, I replied. Is there something going on at work? She asked. I shook my head, and I could see Stacy relax a bit as she finished her question. No, it's personal. I think Amy might be cheating on me. Stacy sat quietly for a moment, gathering her thoughts. Finally, she asked, "How can I support you? Unless you have a magic solution. I'm not sure there's much you can do. I'll be taking the next couple of days off but staying in touch with the office. I'll avoid Amy for now. I have a meeting with the private investigator today and a lawyer tomorrow," I explained with a shrug. "Don't you think you're getting ahead of yourself? Unless there's something you're not telling me. You haven't found any proof yet. I purposely started a fight about closeness last night. Amy got angry right away and stormed out of the bedroom. I told her she didn't have to answer my questions. My private investigator would handle it in the morning. If you had seen the look on Amy's face, you'd be absolutely certain about what the report will say. You should talk to her, Chris." "I know I will, but not right now." "Where are you going to stay?" Stacy inquired. "I'll book a room somewhere." Stacy rummaged through her oversized purse and eventually pulled out a set of keys. Handing me one of the keys, she said, "Here's a key to our cottage. You've stayed there before. It's only a 35-minute drive away. We won't be using it until the end of the month." As she gave me the key, she offered some advice. "Can I give you some advice?" "Of course. If things go the way you expect, your life will get worse before it gets better. It'll be tough for a while. Then one day you'll wake up and you won't feel completely terrible. You'll just feel miserable. That'll be the beginning of your recovery." "It sounds like you're speaking from experience." "My ex-husband divorced me 12 years ago. It was rough." We sipped our coffee, and Stacy continued, "I don't talk about it much, mostly because I'm embarrassed I messed up my life, my kids' lives and Tom's life. His family hates me. My son's friends hit on me because they know everything." I jumped in. "You don't need to share all this with me, Stacy. I know even after 2 years of therapy sessions every week, I still have more questions about my stupid actions than answers." We both chuckled sadly. Stacy went on, "Tom discovered my cheating in the worst way possible. He tested positive for an STD I gave him. I was speechless." She continued, "It gets worse, if that's even possible. I panicked and blamed Tom, saying he gave me the disease we both knew well. Everyone knew I was the one who cheated." "Why did you do it?" Stacy stared at the table as she confessed, "Because I could, because I wanted to feel attractive again, because I wanted a secret, because I enjoyed forbidden, anonymous, rough closeness." She elaborated, "I travel for work just like you do. Once or twice a year I'd meet someone interesting and invite them to my room. Looking back, it seems so foolish." We sat in silence until Stacy asked, "Have you ever been unfaithful?" "No, honestly, I've never felt tempted. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I enjoy flirting and knowing that women find me attractive, but I've never thought about betraying Amy." "Why do you think that is?" "It's just who I am. Closeness with Amy has been pretty ordinary. She's not into trying new things. But even a regular night with Amy is always better than the wildest one-night stand from college." "What made you suspicious?" "Amy and I have always had an active bed life. I bet Amy will call the office looking for you." "What should we tell her?" "Let her know I'm taking some time off and won't be back until next week." Stacy picked up our bill along with her bagel. She gave me a tight hug and said, "Stay strong. If you need anything, just let me know." Our daughters, Julie and Kate, were both in their third year at the University of Connecticut. Julie was born 9 months before Kate and skipped fourth grade. Julie was studying electrical engineering like me, while Kate was majoring in chemistry with plans for a medical career. I managed to get hold of Kate earlier, asking her and Julie to meet me later in the day without contacting their mom until we talked. "Dad, what's going on? Mom's been calling like crazy, and she must know we're avoiding her." I hugged Julie and kissed Kate's cheek, leading them to a quiet spot in Yukon Student Union. "You don't look so good, Dad," Julie remarked. I chuckled, realizing those were the same words my boss said earlier. "Yeah, I've heard that before today." Kate asked, "What did Mom do now?" I hesitated, then said, "I think she's been cheating on me. I've hired a private investigator, and I'll get the details today. I might be a bit less reachable this week. I'll be around when I can." Julie asked, "What do you want us to do?" "Just be supportive and stay in touch. I don't want you to feel awkward if Amy tries to reach you. She's angry with me right now, and she might try to manipulate you. Just stay calm and don't take sides." Kate and Julie were shocked but supportive, promising to keep in touch and let me know if they heard from Amy. Thanks for tuning in to today's Reddit story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on more amazing stories. See you next time.